All right, we are in for round one of GP Estrathe. Opponent rolls a 16 to start us off. I lose the die roll. That may matter. We'll see. Opponent is opting to take the play, so look at the opening hand here. Would love the turn two feast, but it is just a little awkward here. Um, yeah, this does just feel really awkward, huh? So the theory here is like, we could just go turn one Writhling, turn two Feast, and be golden if we hit like if our draws are land drop and Mecha, we're golden. We can just uh have Feast active nearly every turn. My concern here is this hand might just not do anything. Like theoretically, I want to develop Writhling, I want to develop Lurks, I want to develop Feast of Whispered Knives, but I feel like I might just have to Writhling and then hold up Omen. And that's not a great place to be. This is the last one drop I'd want to be putting into play turn one. Opponent is on Naya Solidarity. There are one drops they could reasonably be putting into play that I'd have to have a blocker up for. Problem is, one of those one drops is capable of gaining vigilance and then growing its size, so it being a 1/1 is not going to be permanent. I think I got him all to six here. This is worse. Yeah. Double Mecha Gargantua. That's going to be go to five here. Oh, oh no. Not like this. All right. This is a four. This is going to be Deep Treader into Omen. You're going to move the apexes to the bottom. You're going to move Writhling to the bottom. Keep four. We are on the draw. That could help us. Penwrath District tapped. All right. We will draw. That is a Feast of Whispered Knives. Let's go Island into Deep Treader. Let's see if Feast can get us out of this here. The problem here is I'm not even sure if I'd play Feast on two, even if I have the opening. And here is the Ragtag squad. Yeah, they're going to go ahead and make two tokens. Wonder if they swing in with the red Ragtag here. I don't block if they do, which is I think part of why they do, and I will take the one. Turn passes back to me. I draw second Feast. That might be cause to jam an Omen of Deception here. I'm going to swing, draw, discard an island. They're choosing to take one. I'm going to go to main two and just develop the feast. And then at end step, I think I just kill the green ragtag here. Yeah, it's going to be kill the green ragtag. Do not love the position I'm in, though. Heart of the Glade here. That could be Love. That is a Sharesh, Leader of the Lost. Looking at top card. They've got 3 creature types here. Interesting thing to note is they block with Sharesh. I can develop Second Feast and kill Sharesh. Like, if they block with Sharesh just on the board, I have a way of killing Sharesh here because the damage doesn't go away until cleanup, which is after the beginning of the end step. So untap and draw. Deep Treader Arcanist number 2. Going to go to combat and swing 1. Draw the redeveloped cityscape, which I think Omna Deception has to go here, or the redeveloped cityscape. The cityscape might actually have to go here. All right, so damage. This goes. Second main phase. Feast of Whispered Knives. Just confirming real quick with judges. Would be a real bummer if this is not the case. Getting an answer, it looks like, real quick here. Have confirmed. End step. I would like to clear your board. There is a consideration that perhaps the ragtag was not worth killing over developing a 2-1 or scry to have the opponent lose 2 here, but considering I'm up against a creature deck, I think I do just want to clear the path here. Plenty of 1-drops I could draw here to get me a bit back in the game. Wouldn't mind hitting a Lurking Dirkolakis either. I do feel like I may have made some drastic mistakes here. Rage Cloak Shifter, I see, alongside a gubernatorial fundraiser. Treasure, and what are they pledging? Penwrath, I have to assume. Vishanki, all right. Building up treasures. Right, no, they do have a treasure package in their deck. I do remember seeing that in the deck lists. That is the Ignited Soul. We could leave up Omen of Deception here, but I think it is just best to develop the Deep Treader and the Ignited Soul. Omen is likely to get pitched here. Um, they have been making every land drop. They are at a point now where Omen does tax them meaningfully, but doesn't really stop what they're doing. I do think I just need to pitch it away for more action. It is beneficial that our opponent is sitting on 2/1 toughness creatures here. They're on Human Advisor, Shapeshifter, Shaman. They could pay 2 into Rage Cloak Shifter twice, 4 mana to swing for it as a 5, as well as swinging the Fundraiser for a 6th point of damage, and then getting the Solidarity token for an additional 2, take me to 10. However, that is 4 of their mana. That is an EO. Alrighty. That is unfortunate. So these become 3/3s. They are getting in with the Fundraiser. Unsure if this is... Okay, they're just getting in with the Fundraiser. So I have to consider here, they've got 1 card in hand. Do I value having both of my creatures more than I value 3 life? I think I do. I will just take 3. So next turn, if their board goes completely uninteracted with, they've got Shifter plus EO to get all the way through here. However, I've got Double Feast, Deep Treader, Arcanist, Ignited Soul. Just passing at that. Alrighty. I'll untap and draw. That's interesting. We will see what Deep Treader, Arcanist, and Ignited Soul yield us. I think we always go to combat first here. Oh. Deep Treader trigger, I would like to draw a card. I will pitch the Omen of Deception. Now go to blocks. Shifter in front of the Arcanist. So we move the damage. The Arcanist dies. They take 3. On the Ignited Soul trigger, I'm going to discard the Flooded Morass to draw a card. And then main phase 2 could develop lurks here. Ooh, actually developing lurks here is great. EO can't meaningfully punch through that. Or Gubernatorial Fundraiser can't meaningfully punch through that. I think, yeah, I'm going to develop lurks here. This is a 3/3, and I'm going to target my opponent. They eat a Ragtag Squad, so I will get a counter on lurks here. I think I shoot down the gubernatorial fundraiser here because it poses a really difficult question to my opponent of do they swing the EO. Like if they have Love of a Lifetime, they can swing the EO into Lurking Virkolakis. I think yeah, at end step I'm gonna kill the gubernatorial fundraiser. Over the EO, because EO will forcibly sacrifice at end step unless they attack. And any attack where they make that happen. This could be awkward specifically with Path here. Path to Power, I believe. Or no. Pact of Power. Because they could give EO +3/+3 and have it fight. That is something I maybe should have considered here. We'll see if I regret this decision. Thorngrafter coming down here. Oh, no. Yeah, there we go. Flourishing Crevasse, Thorngrafter. And if they don't rumble with EO, they lose it. But if they rumble, then I eat it with Lurking Virkolakis. It gets the counter. What keyword are you putting it on? Putting on it. Death Touch is the reasonable pick. Keep me from swinging with the Virkolakis. Yeah, taking the Death Touch here. Paying 4 to make a treasure. And then, yeah, the downside of EO is going to bite them, I think. Risky gamble that I just took there, but it is one that let my Feast of Whispered Knives eat their second creature for free by virtue of killing Gubernatorial Fundraiser. Oops. This is still a 1/1. And then this is a 2/2. I should have just done -2/-2. Alrighty. I'll untap and draw. Swamp here. Can't get in with the Lurking Virkolakis because of the Thorngrafter here, able to just kill it. So let's go to combat and swing 1. They can't block because it's got Menace. On damage, I will pitch this Swamp to draw a card. Go to main 2. I think I'm just going to hold the Deep Treader Arcanist to hold the Omen of Deception. Nah, honestly, I don't think they're gonna have super. Nah, I'm gonna hold this because they could Love of a Lifetime into like Ardor here, and then having the Omen of Deception is relevant. So, gonna go to end step, kill the Thorngrafter, drain my opponent for 2. We'll see if that's enough for them to pack it up, but I have to assume they are looking to at least try and get dig for some draws here. I have 2 creatures in graveyard. I've got Arcanist in hand. I'm going to put Rivaling to bottom for sure. This is Scry. Is Gargantua a good draw here? Well, yeah, I'll keep it on top. I could have maybe taken the left the Rivaling on top, gone for the Ignited Soul, swing it in, pitch the Rivaling, draw the Gargantua. So the only major draws that I can see buying them time here are Thorngrafter, just as the basis of like Death Touch blocker to keep the Lurking Virkolakis from spiraling. 4 mana. Did they just... Oh, they're making treasures. I see. I'll untap and draw. Get that Gargantua here. Just go to combat. Swing with both. Target my opponent because they have no non-land cards in graveyard. They exile Thorngrafter. So I get a counter on lurks. I gain a life, and then I gain 3 more. On damage, I will have myself discard to draw. What am I discarding? I may discard. I don't even know if I do actually discard here. Maybe I just keep the hand as it is. I don't need to do this because I've got the Feast of Whispered Knives active because of Lurking Firkalakis. I could just opt for no discard, cast Gargantua, sack the Ignited Soul, exile 3 creatures from my graveyard. But I feel like if I'm doing that, I want to have the Omen of Deception gone. I am going to discard. I'm going to pitch the Deep Treader Arcanist. Draw another Lurking Firkalakis. And we're just going to hold it, I think. Pass. Definitely shooting once. The 2-1... 2-1 is better in the face of an EO, but EO dies if they top deck it, so I'm just going to target them twice. View top 2. I'm going to keep Apex on top, move Gargantua to bottom. And then view top 2. Keep Apex, move Firkalakis to bottom. So now they could pay for Ardor off of Lip of a Lifetime here, because they have the treasures to make it happen. But I don't think Ardor meaningfully... Yeah, Ardor doesn't meaningfully stabilize. That was a win on a mull to 4, folks. That felt very good. So looking at what we can do against our opponent here, the counter magic felt a little unstable just because our opponent puts more pressure on us out the gate. I feel like Maim is the only thing I'm super comfortable bringing in, and in fact, I want to go down on some number of counter spells. I could see going down like 1 Omen of Deception, 1 Mecha, because I think they are likely to bring in Artifact and Enchantment hate, and so having a Mecha that just gets got by Thunderous Avalanche is really awkward when they're already likely to be trying to deal with with Feast of Whispered Knives through Thunderous Avalanche. Hmm. Yeah, I think I like this. I think I like just going down a Mecha and an Omen of Deception for the Maims. This is what we're talking about. This is turn 1 Ignited Soul, turn 2 Feast, turn 3 either Omen of Deception up with a Redeveloped Cityscape in play, or just Glauna if I find the third untapped land. This is more like what I'm looking to do. Alrighty, opponent goes Redevelop Cityscape tapped and untapped and pass to go find some of their lands. That is in Zixthax Apex, perfect Ignited Soul target. We are going to go ahead and run out the Ignited Soul and pass on the turn. Nice thing here is our opponent could go Ragtag Squad and put two meaningful blockers into play. If they do that, we just hold up Omen of Deception. Um, but then our 1/1 is holding off two creatures, which is pretty sweet. Titan Stairs, I see. So that is a Rage Cloak Shifter that's about to die to a Feast of Whispered Knives. You will untap and draw. Second redeveloped Cityscape is perfect to pitch to the first one. So let's go ahead and Flooded Morris. Just go to combat and swing one. Pitch Apex to draw. Second main, Deep Shadow Arcanist is nice. Let's just go ahead and develop Feast. Kill the Shifter. Oh my goodness, this card is still so messed up. 4 more months of this thing. It will not last forever. Forest and Pass. I'll draw. And then I'm going to take a moment here. I would like to check and see what our opponent is up to that they might be holding 3 mana up for. So Dalaby, their sideboard, they could be on Heroes Never Die, puts it into play tapped. They could have Braze up, Return to Nature up. Calamitous Warcry is an option as well. Thunderous Avalanche doesn't do anything right now. I could see them having boarded in Calamitous Warcry. I could see them holding up Return to Nature. I could see them holding up Braze or Heroes Never Die. I could see them holding up Gentle Grasp. There's a lot of things I could see happening here. I think I'm going to put the onus on my opponent to take game actions because I have things that just kill them in play. They are tapping 2 for Braze, targeting the Ignited Soul. Do I care? I think I care here. So here's the consideration here. If I Omen of Deception this, I get to keep the Feast of Whispered Knives train going, but I'm not 100% certain that's enough. There's an argument maybe I should have redeveloped Cityscape here before swinging, so that way I could exile the other Cityscape from hand and discard the land I put in hand, because I don't really need a 4th land. I think I let this through. Because, like, next turn I can go Deep Treader Arcanist, sack it to Chittering Gargantua, exile my graveyard, shoot my opponent for 3, have a Feast of Whispered Knives trigger up. Yeah, I think that's good, actually. I'll make a food token. That also just gives me something to Feast of Whispered Knives with later on, to, like, activate Indulge. Main to develop an Omen, redevelop Cityscape. Got Omen up, and then we could just pass. An opponent is probably pretty suspicious of 2 mana up, no food crack for the feast. Ardor is gonna get omened. No, thank you. Whew, boy, that would have gotten really out of hand really fast. Let's crack redevelop Cityscape. Exile Cityscape from hand. View library. Go get island to play tapped, swamped hand. Need the island in play because we need Arcanist and Chittering Gargantua for 2 blue. Untap and draw. Agent of Deception. There's an argument to just playing Deep Treader Arcanist here and passing. Holding up Agent of Deception, getting to force 3 extra mana on a creature or planeswalker spell. There is also an argument to, like, play the swamp, pay blue-black, crack the food, make a 2/1 rogue with menace. That pushes some impetus on our opponent to start putting things in play, and then we can hold up 2 mana for Agent of Deception to stack 2 mana? I like the Rush Gargantua line, but the cost of that is that our opponent can disrupt that pretty easily with any removal spell, which we know they want to have a lot of. So I think what's going to happen here is we're going to play the Swamp, we are going to play the Deep Treader Arcanist, and we're going to hold up Agent of Deception or crack Omen of Deception. Pass. Save the food for absolute emergencies later in the game. I really did want to go for the Rush Gargantua line here, but... Okay, that's a Plains. 1 and 2. And 3. For Love of a Lifetime. Can't tax them on that. Love is definitely a reason I wanted to be on something black, red, green, just to have work safety violation as a simple way of blowing that up, but sometimes we do have to pay a price, and the price is not being able to interact with enchantments. I do think that is the biggest weak point of this deck for sure. Grabbing an EO. Alrighty. Paying 2 for a Ragtag Squad. Alright, so Angel and Demon developed here. They're going to swing 2. We can go ahead and take 2. I think we're still going to crack Omen here. View top. Just want to double check that this is 2. Yeah, scry 2. Deep Treader Swamp. So we could go... You know, what if we had flashed in Agent of Deception there, double blocked, and then just either played Glauna, shot the Ragtag, or Chitter and Gargantua for 4? That would have been pretty solid, I think. Yeah. Yeah, whereas now we don't have Gargantua for 4 as easily. We can still Gargantua for 4. Deep Treader Arcanist being here. I think we're sending this Swamp to the bottom. We could keep this Arcanist and just pitch it to the Arcanist. Yeah, I like that. We'll untap and draw that Arcanist. Go to combat and swing 1, drawing the Ignited Soul. Let's pitch... let's pitch Deep Treader Arcanist. Yep, I eat this. That's fine. Second main. We will pay blue and black for Chittering Gargantua. Exiled. Apex you for 3. And then clear that arrow. Gargantua sticks. And we will go to end step and kill the Trampler. So the unfortunate thing here is that Agent is only going to tax for 2. That can just let the EO in through. I do think if they like just play EO. Wow, blue mana here. Interesting. 3 mana for the EO. I'm gonna make them pay 2 more for that. Sure thing. So Gargantua shrinks, Agent grows. They're going to swing swing a 4/4 at me. I will double block. They're going to kill the Gargantua. Sure thing. Glauna looking pretty solid here. Ooh, Flooded Morris. I think I'm going to play the Flooded Morris and Glauna here to crack the food and play Glauna. It does mean that I can't develop the Ignited Soul, but I think getting the Glauna in play and having the Feast trigger active is just going to be better. I'm probably going to be partial towards just the Scry to have opponent lose to over making the Rogue with Menace. We know they are on an instant speed sweeper of some variety. So let's play Morris, Swamp, and Island for Glauna. I would like to kill EO. And they take 2. Hasty Ragtag token is something to be mindful of. I think with that in mind, I'm also on main phase 1. With that in mind, I'm going to pay to crack the food to gain 3. And I'm just going to have the agent hang back here. And I'm going to move to end step and shoot my opponent. I'm going to move both of these to the bottom. Oh, and Kalana should have a loyalty counter on her, because I did indulge at the end step there. Opponent tapping 2 for Edgeland Pledge, presumably killing Glauna. And making a 2/2 with haste. Yep, that is pretty rough. Oh man, Love of a Lifetime making this 2 less to activate is crazy strong. Opponent tapping like that, leaving up the Flourishing Crevice. I honestly thought they would want to leave up Titan Stairs here, but I'm confused why this is on blue. Oh wow. Oh yeah, no, yeah. Shoot the Agent of Deception, then just swing 3 at Glauna here makes sense. 2 mana for Gubernatorial Fundraiser. That is the last card in their hand. Penwrath Insurgency is the pick here. And then clear Glauna with the hasty token. Yeah. Oof. Uphill battle from here. I will draw, hit a maim. We'll go Ignited Soul and pass. Nice thing is if our opponent just dumps, like goes land drop, dump 8 mana into, like Gubernatorial Fundraiser, we can just maim it. I wonder if we let an EO resolve if they go for EO here. Um, if this is the other Ardor, this is going to be a problem. Yeah, there it is. And maim is not a way to kill it, so we kind of just need to draw Glauna here. If we had not discarded Omen Deception, we would have this. Or no, sorry, we did not discard the Omen. We cast it. So these tokens do have to attack. If they swing with the Gubernatorial Fundraiser as well, we can maim one of the tokens. So they're swinging 8 here. I can consider maiming the Gubernatorial Fundraiser now. Anything to just like sort of open the path for Ignited Soul. The problem therein lies that I'm not sure this alone really gets me there. Or more so, if our opponent has like if we get in with the Ignited Soul, I'm not sure we want to use the maim now when we could just play it with the Glauna. If we're trying to dig for Glauna. Yeah, I've made some misplays this game, I think. Poor prioritization, I think, on a couple things. Opponent goes to cleanup. I think we are just going to hold on to maim, untap, and draw. I think that is our cue to maim the goober. Pitch an islands to draw. Second Feast of Whispered Knives. That does kill Ardor. Shrink our opponent down to a pair of 2/2s. They spend 4 mana to Penwrath Insurgency, one of them up to 4 power. So that's 6, 7, 8. They have a 2-turn clock on me still. But that also taps them out for Ignited Soul to have Feast just kill them both. That's a pretty solid draw, I think. We're going to get Feast in play. End step kill Ardor. So the nice thing here is our opponent can't reasonably apply pressure here. They could tick away half our life total, but doing so will cost them their board here, because whatever I draw to Ignited Soul, I discard on attacks. The only way that they preserve it is to have the second copy of Ragtag Squad here off the top. Animate Titan Stairs. Oh, that is true. That is going to be able to meaningfully get in, huh? So that is going to be 10 damage. Take 10. Main 2. No actions and then pass. Now I'm kind of hoping we hit like useless card into Maim, and we can just hold Maim up for the Titan Stairs. Or we can just hit it like a flying blocker, like a Gargantua. Untap. Draw. Apex. Could be promising. Go to combat. Rumble in. On damage, I will discard Apex to draw a card. Third, Feast of Whispered Knives. Okay. So Feast is kill both 2/2s, sends 2 to the dome. Our opponent needs an untapped land to kill. But we don't necessarily kill ourselves the following turn either, because we send 1 in, followed by 3 here. Any haste damage does it. What options do they have to just do some haste damage? Narzi doesn't get it done. Thorngrafter doesn't get it done. Ragecloak Shifter doesn't get it done. We've seen 1 Edgeland Pledge. So they can hit Edgeland Pledge, they can hit Ragtag Squad, they can draw out to Pact of Power. No, does not do it. Any untapped land is the biggest scary thing. There are any 26 lands deck. Nothing under their sideboard gets it done though. I wonder, what if they're holding up Gentle Grasp? No, they're not holding up Gentle Grasp because this is blue. I still don't understand why that was the choice here. Like, I can't tell what the blue is supposed to be. Like, I feel like that's just them trying to develop a land, but then why are they tapping the forest instead of the blue source here for Titan Stairs? Why are they leaving the plains tapped at all? I think it's just got to be the third feast. End step, feast a token, to the dome. Tapping for 3, Calamitous Warcry. Okay, so they were leaving Warcry up, so that way if they lose their board, I at least lose my Ignited Soul. That's fine. Hand is now unknown. The top 2. Cityscape, Deep Treader Arcanist, not going to get the job done. Move both to bottom. Maim off the top buys us time against Titan's Stairs, but now it no longer does the job on its own. That is the untapped land, though. Because they can now afford to pay for Penwrath Insurgency. Yeah. So, game 3... I don't know. Like, I feel like the counter spells... Like, the Agent of Deception didn't feel super stellar there either. It's so awkward that I want to be developing Feast of Whispered Knives early, but that taps me out of Agent of Deception, taps me out of Omen of Deception. Maybe I want them in, though, here, just because my opponent is going to be on the draw. So I'm going to have the initiative, I'm going to have the tempo to push them under threat of fire. With that in mind, maybe I take out Mecha and take out the Ephemeral Mire for the remaining 2 counterspells. Just like really squeeze in here, get the full suite of counter magic, get the 2 removal spells, go down the slowest threat in my deck, hurt their Thunderous Avalanche a little more just on the basis of like my mechas are gone, so their artifact removal is a little shakier. And then the Ephemeral Mire being a tapped land is a liability here, so just get that out because I really do want to go like untapped sources as quickly as possible. And click ready to start. Huh. Agent lurks, Apex. Agent's great. Lurks is great. In theory. I might have to mulligan this. Because I don't think this wins the game. I don't fill the graveyard fast enough to have Lurking Vricolakus eat my own graveyard. My opponent is not going to have enough things in their own graveyard for me to eat theirs. I don't want to mulligan this hand. I don't want to mulligan a turn 2 Agent of Deception. But I think I am pressed into doing so. I do also think Agent of Deception is the less impactful turn 2 counterspell because they have non-creature spells that can slip through. Let's mull to 6. This is better. I'd love to develop Ignited Soul into Feast here, but I can't do that on this opener. Move Chitters to bottom. Keep 6. Main 1. And we're just going to go for Redevelop Cityscape here and pass. In a turn, I'm going to crack Cityscape, and I think I'm just going to pitch this Swamp. I do want all 4 of the cards in my hand a little more than I want the Swamp. View Library, get Swamp, Island, Swamp to play tapped, Island to hand. We'll untap and draw. That is a Lurks. We'll just go Island and pass. There is an argument that maybe I just get rid of the Ignited Soul, but I think the fact that it's the 1-drop makes it really hard for me to justify getting rid of here. We develop Cityscape. We are going to see a Flourishing Crevasse pitched for 2 basics. Tells me their hand either has a lot of lands, or they just do not necessarily need the crevasse here. They're going for the 2 colors that it could make, though. So mountain in play, forest to hand. Playing a Titan Stairs and a Rage Cloak Shifter, I'm going to Agent of Deception that. We will draw, redevelop Cityscape. Let's run out the Virkolakis. Target our opponent. They'll eat the Cityscape. We don't gain any life. Swing 1. Main 2. Let's develop the Cityscape here and then pass. And I think we'll actually just pitch the Ignited Soul this time. Get the Feast plus Maim up. Forest down. They could go EO, but that just dies immediately. They could go Ragtag Squad, keep the token back. Thorngrafter, presumably getting a Death Touch counter here. Just keep the Lurking Virkolakis down. I think I'm going to have to maim that. We'll see. They pass. Before untap. Crack the Cityscape. Pitch Ignited Soul. Few Library. Swamp tapped. Island to hand. Untap. Draw. We find a Zixthax Apex. Would have probably been better to pitch than the Ignited Soul there. Let's go for Island. Maim the Thorngrafter. Go to combat. And I will ask for anything before attacks. Because if they have a Braze here, now is the time to play it. I think that's just cordial before I go swing the Virkolakis. I don't feel super comfortable about my position, though. It's a little disconcerting that the most confident game I had was the Mulda 4. Not sure if opponent's thinking or just missed the question. I'm going to assume nearly a full minute has passed. I would like to turn the board sideways. Heroes never die. Okay. That is an argument for targeting myself. However, the thing they get here is going to be tapped. Revealing, or choosing to get Rage Cloak Shifter. Okay, yeah, revealing 2 lands, Rage Cloak Shifter, getting back Thorngrafter. Rest on the bottom of your library in random order. Onto the battlefield, tapped. I will gain 1. Thorngrafter's tapped. So this grows. Yeah, Heroes Never Die gets it back tapped. So they take 3. I gain 2. Second main. Absolutely blow them out. End step, kill Thorngrafter. Because I gained 1 from attack, 2 from damage. Alrighty. Not out of the woods yet, by any measure. But early board state has been on lock. Ardor is terrifying here. Titan Stairs plus Mountain. Gubernatorial Fundraiser's fine. We will probably be just having the agent hang back here in that case. Going for Penwrath Insurgency. Paying 2 for Return to Nature the Feast. Sure. Down to 2 cards in hand. I have the better board state right now. I'll untap and draw. I would like to go to combat here and just swing 3. Swing for 2, targeting my opponent. Eventually going to be swinging for 3. This gets a counter and grows. I gain 1. Go to blocks. They take 3. So I gain another 3. And then second main, we will just run out the Deep Treader Arcanist. And pass. Let's take a moment to have our graveyard open here. There are absolutely cards they could still draw here to start burying us. But at this point, Ardor is no longer going to, on her own, deal with Lurking Virkolakis. We're going to see red, green for Edgeland Pledge. Does not kill the Lurking Virkolakis here. So they'll create a Solidarity token. They can pay... Oh, I see. That's why they made blue last game, to hold up the tap up to 3 target creatures mode. Interesting. Edgeland Pledge, I'm assuming they're just debating where the 2 damage and ends up here. I think the correct answer is Deep Shredder. Oh, sorry. They're also waiting to see if I counter. That's fine. Deep Treader Arcanist is the correct hit, I think. They may hold off on doing anything just on the off chance that they have other things they might want to do with their turn. Yeah, shooting and making a 1/1. Sure thing. Any world where they attack here is wrong. Yeah, they're just holding back. That's perfectly fine. I'll untap and draw. There's another feast. Go to combat. Swing here. Target my opponent. Eats the Edgeland Pledge from the graveyard. Virkolakis grows. They're just going to chump with the soldier token. Perfectly fine here. I will gain an additional 4. And then going to second main phase, I could Feast of Whispered Knives and just start sending damage up to the dome, but I do want to just clear out the gubernatorial here. So we are going to Feast. End step clear the goober. Just take the creatures off the board of the creature deck. Feeling more optimistic now. I feel like that was a turn where they would have run out Ardor if they had it. So the lack of Ardor there has me feeling optimistic. That play there is also notable because it keeps my opponent one more mana into Titan Stairs, so they actually currently have to spend their treasure to animate it, and swinging 3 really doesn't meaningfully deal with the board here, or just blocking as a 2/2 is not super relevant. That just kind of costs them a land and a treasure. Um, this is something I kind of said going into the deck tech, and something that was true in my league run, which is that an unchecked Lurking Virkolakis really does just run over the game. I do have cards in my graveyard in a pinch if they end up with a land in their graveyard that I can eat. I had a brief panic attack seeing that heroes never die. I remember, I believe it used to put the cards that you looked at into your graveyard. And that was absolutely mortifying whenever it would happen. Like that was absolutely mortifying because I saw the 2 lands get flipped and was like, oh no, that's going to be uh land in graveyard. But that is going to be game. Whew. A sketchy one. It was sketchy back in the league as well. Opponent has some real cool stuff going on there. Uh 2-1 against Dalaby. All right. Cheers to that. Going into round 2, up a match. As I mentioned in the deck tech, we get into the top cut if we are 3-1 or better. So here's hoping we can get to that 3-1 threshold. Some sketchy plays that I made there, some sketchy mulligans. I think you can kind of see the ways in which I am adjusting to the new deck list, adjusting to having the Deep Treader Arcanists and the Agent of Deceptions and the counter magic in general. Um, we'll see if some of these deck building decisions come back to bite me in future matches, or if Stasis really truly was cooking. But so far, blue black tempo up a match, 1-0 in GP Estrathe. I will see you in a couple days when round 2 match happens.